So Preneurs, when did it become cool to be in debt? Like, when did society trick us to actually start following all these norms that they have so we can also be in a trap? Let's talk about it. So welcome back, Preneurs. I want to have a real conversation with you because when did debt really become cool? Like, when did we start getting, recognition and rewarded for actually falling into this debt trap? So what is the debt trap? Maybe you can indulge me a little bit. So we're all told to go to high school. So that's exactly what we do. Then we graduate and some of us may go get a job. Some of us might start our first career, but most of us are told to go into college. So you go to college unless you have a scholarship, a grant, Pell Grant, something like that, helping you FAFSA to be able to help you towards your tuition, then therefore you're coming out of your pocket, all right, to be able to pay for that college degree. And how much is that costing you? $40,000 to get a college degree, things like that. So then after you graduate, and if you haven't found your significant other yet, then what do you do next? You usually get married, right? So then you have a wedding, and that's gonna cost you 30 grand on a minimum basis, right? So all the things you have to do with that. And then what do you do next? You go get your new car. If you haven't got that already, that's gonna cost you 35 grand. And then what do you do next? You go buy a home, right? Because you need your American dream. And that's gonna cost you 300 grand or more. So like literally right after you go and graduate, just a couple years even after that, within that time frame, you are literally over $300,000 of debt. You're in a hole already before you really start making some major money, unless you already have some trust funds or something like that already ready for that. So when did it become cool? When did society literally tell us to be able to have all these different debt holes before we start making some real money to be able to surpass that? When did that really become cool is my real question for you. So like, I remember when I went to school, so I was blessed to be able to have a scholarship. So I went to school, but my master's wasn't though. So my master's cost us $57,000, right? And the average cost of literally someone getting a degree right now, it's gonna cost them in debt about $57,000. That's kind of the average right now. And I noticed that, man, I'm so glad I didn't have to go for the 4-year and have to pay that, because that would have put me in a big hole. I was just trying to pay off that master's. Then I met my significant other, right? And I was like, man, we had the conversation. My beautiful wife, I'm like, we had a conversation. We said, should we get married? We saw everybody, our friends, all these different things. This 1 year, we attended 11 weddings in 1 year. All our friends were getting married, and extravagant, beautiful. And it literally took like literally an hour. And I'm like, man, how much did it cost you? Oh, 30 grand. How much it cost you? 40 grand. How much it cost you? 60 grand. How much it cost you? 25 grand. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, man, Spring, I'm glad we didn't do that because that would have killed us, right? In our situation, right? So we decided just to have just me and her, we eloped, we did all these different things, and we are able to save that money and we invested. We put that on a down payment on a house, right? So we bought a home. Right? And that home definitely took off and definitely had a lot of equity and all that, because that was an investment we decided to do. So we didn't fall into the normal debt of just a wedding. Then we decided to, after buying that home, we positioned ourselves to now use some of that equity to go buy other properties and do everything with that. So that we turned what should have been a debt trap into an investment opportunity. And I know a lot of people have done it as well. But then we also bought some new cars. Now this is when we messed up. Okay, so we bought new cars, and we really positioned ourselves, really kind of fall into that debt trap where we had to be able to consistently keep paying that over and over and over again, because we didn't understand how to be able to pay ourselves. We didn't understand how to use a credit card, a business credit card, to pay off the car. All right, so I'm starting to pay myself versus paying the finance company. So there's many tricks and games I wish I would have knew about the rules of money, but I just didn't know it. So unfortunately, I was spending all this money, debt, because I was trying to be cool, right? And so what's my point? When did that really be cool to be falling into debt? Maybe you fall into those traps as well. Maybe you fall into the college trap. Maybe you fell into the new car trap. Maybe you fell into the new house trap. Maybe you fell into, any other trap that's offered right when we actually exit college. Whatever those traps are, just understand that if it's not going to help you get to your purpose, your goals that you want in your life, and you're just doing it because everyone's telling you to do it, that's a trap. So hopefully this video was able to help you, because I've really been thinking about it. I'm like, why are so many people doing this? Like, why is society so good at marketing us to be able to position us to go down before we go up? Why can't we just be able to leave high school and literally say, you know what, this is exactly what I want to step into. This is exactly what I want to do, and start investing into our future versus this actually putting our future into more debt that we're going to be able to pay for 30 years from now. A lot of people still haven't paid off their student loans. Still, people still haven't been able to pay off their mortgage. People are still not even be able to pay off their cars. Why? Because they made some bad decisions early on in life because everyone else told them what to do, versus what they should have did because it was tied to their goals and dreams and their purpose. So I hope this is able to add value to you. Maybe you go ahead and tag someone that's kind of thinking about maybe their phase of life right now, saying, man, I don't know if I should be going to college. I don't know if I should be buying this new car. I don't know if I should be falling into any of these debt traps right now. Well, go ahead and make sure you go and add the pros and the cons. You look at both of those and see, does it make sense to pay this amount of money with this interest rate? And how long am I going to be able to pay this off? Do I even have a plan to pay this off? Or am I just going to buy it because of impulses because everyone else is doing it? So with that, go ahead and check out the next videos we have as well. Click the notification if you haven't already, and make sure you're increasing 1% daily so that you can increase your profit, your passion, your purpose. And we'll see you guys in the next one.